What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first video in a series of 4 discussing the classes in Payday 2. Today we're going to begin the series with the Ghost class. Now, as its name implies, the Ghost class specializes in stealth, subterfuge, and silence. If you enjoy getting rich from the shadows, this is definitely the class for you. The Ghost class allows you to quietly take out guards and cameras and sneak by civilians with a lower detection rating. Each class in Payday 2 has one main ability on which it focuses, and gives one droppable item. The Ghost class utilizes the lockpicking ability and makes available the ECM jammer, both of which we will discuss shortly. Let's start with the skill tree. Like each skill tree in Payday 2, the Ghost tree has 6 tiers. Within each of these tiers are 3 skills, adding up to a total of 18. Each skill has both a basic and an aceable version. In the first 3 tiers, the basic version of a skill costs 1 skill point, while the aced version costs 3. In the latter 3 tiers, basic and ace skills cost 4 and 8 points respectively. Each of these skills also costs a certain amount of cash to unlock. Now, spending any number of points into a skill will unlock that tier bonus, which is an added benefit that comes for free. The Ghost tree has a few notable skills, critical for successful sneaking. These are Cleaner in tier 2, Shinobi in tier 3, and Lockpicking Expert in tier 5. Cleaner allows you to put a body into a body bag. These bags can then be moved, so this skill is very useful as you can avoid an NPC stumbling upon a guard or civilian that you have silently had to take down. Shinobi gives the benefit of disallowing enemies to cry out when killed. Without this skill, enemies may randomly call out when shot or meleeed, alerting nearby NPCs. Therefore, this skill is critical to your success as a ghost. Lockpicking Expert is the most useful skill of the entire tree. This allows you to pick safes by hand. Any safe besides the main bank vault can be silently picked. When aced, this skill allows you to pick safes in only 45 seconds. This means that on missions that only require one item from a certain safe, you can complete them in less than a minute. This is comparable to quiet drilling, except it is completely silent, reducing the risk that you are caught. Finally, an honorable mention skill from the Ghost tree goes to Chameleon, which allows you to be less noticeable to civilians and guards. Now, as I said earlier, each class has both its own ability and deployable item. Let's start with the ability, Lockpicking. This does exactly what it sounds like it does. It allows you to pick locks. This ability has a very broad range of applications in game. While any class can pick locks, the Ghost tree allows you to more fully utilize this ability. Ghost tree lockpickers can more quickly pick deposit boxes and doors. Also, as mentioned earlier, they can pick safes by hand. One benefit of Ghost lockpicking that isn't so obvious comes during firefight heavy missions. In many missions there are alternate paths, blocked by locked doors. However, with normal lockpicking skill, these doors take too long to open, and it's more practical to spend your time on fending off enemies than picking them. With the Ghost skills, however, these doors can be picked much faster, allowing you and your team to escape through these new paths. The deployable item for the Ghost tree is the ECM jammer. This is an item that can be placed just like an ammo bag or medic bag. However, it can attach to walls. The ECM jammer is useful for stealth as it disables electronics in the immediate area. This means that pagers, phones, cameras, and alarms will no longer be a threat. This comes in handy when attempting to stealth missions, since the risk of cops being called is greatly reduced. Through upgrades in the Ghost skill tree, the ECM jammer can also become a door opener and an enemy incapacitator. Now, let's talk about the loadout. When selecting a loadout for the Ghost tree, there's quite a bit of freedom. Obviously, you're not going to want to wear body armor on the job. Body armor gives a flat increase to visibility, and is only useful when involved in heavy firefights anyway, so it should not be necessary. Aside from that, you can bring along many different types of weapons, as long as they are silenceable. I usually go with a silenced pistol, as that's really all I ever end up needing. However, the Ghost tree has a few skills which specialize in SMG usage, making them a viable choice as well. The Compact 5 SMG is a good choice here. It has good accuracy, which is the most important stat when using a weapon for stealth. Now, an added benefit to using SMGs while stealthing is that if things go south, you have a bit more firepower to back you up. For your primary weapon, I would recommend using something with a very low visibility, like the UAR rifle. Unfortunately, at this point, you have to carry a primary with you on the missions, even if you aren't going to be using it. Now, some general tips for playing as a ghost. Number 1. Keep an eye on cameras. These are always randomized on the map, so you never know when one might catch you taking out a guard. Cameras can be disabled on the bank heist mission in the security guard room, but the key card is required for access. If you haven't got that time or patience, don't forget that cameras can be taken out silently with a punch or a bullet. Number 2. Mark security guards to highlight them through walls. This is done by looking at a guard and pressing the F key. This allows you to keep track of them even when they move away. Number 3. Don't leave bodies out in the open. Most NPCs in this game move around a lot. They are sure to stumble upon your work and call the cops. Finally, number 4. Avoid going into unnecessary areas of the map. For instance, on the bank heist map, if the vault spawns near the back of the bank, there's absolutely no need to go into the main lobby. Just cut the cameras, take down the civilians in the back of the bank, and leave the front as is. The more traveling you do, the more potential you create for alarm. Well, that sums up the basics of the ghost tree. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave some feedback down below in the comments. Thanks a lot for watching, and if you enjoyed, feel free to like it and subscribe. See ya!